Welcome back to the Loose Cannons, episode 2. Match day 1 has been played, and we're here to break everything down and talk about the match and what went down.
Let's go.
And I'm here once again. If you missed week 1, my name is Kenny, and I'm joined here with Giuseppe.
Hello, everyone. Let's get
So
going.
let's get right into it. So, first off, 3 points. That's the most important thing. Doesn't matter how you get it, but that you get 3 points. Like we always talk about, beginning of the season, you get a draw early on, even a loss, you drop points, adds up at the end of the season. So, wasn't looking at it a 2-1 victory. I would have wanted to at least, match, at least Man City's goal differential, because obviously that's another factor you have to take into consideration is goal differential at the end of the season, which also could be a factor. But, we got 3 points, so we move on to the next and we learn.
Definitely. I think I was saying before the game, it's got to be one of those games, 5-6-0. You're right. End of the day, 3 points is 3 points. Hopefully, 30-something games from now, the goal differential doesn't come into play, but I'll take it. It's, to me, a bit of an ugly win. First game of the season, though. We get those 3 points, we move on, we collect them, like you said.
That's it. You collect the 3 points. You see what went well. Watch over film. You learn what to do. You get ready for the next opponent, and you got to get the job done again. Keep getting 3 points. That's the most important thing is get the points. Second thing, get the goal differential. Would have been nice,
Exactly.
get a clean sheet, but give credit. I guess while I'm talking about it, we'll talk about Nottingham's first goal. Great counterattack. Maybe we weren't ready for it. We're have been known under the Arteta era for players sprinting and getting back, right away, getting back behind the ball. But you look at the play and you see Havertz, he went down. He thought it should have been a foul, maybe, from the corner. We had players up, but, that's a lesson learned. We conceded off a corner first game of the season. For the next 37 games, and League Cup games, Champions League, on a corner kick, we were exposed week 1. Teams know that. It's something to fix, so it's something to learn from.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Havertz has to get used to the fact that he's not at Chelsea still.
Yeah, right.
But
he'll learn. I'm sure he'll learn.
But yeah, we had guys coming back. Now, this is a tricky part. I didn't like the formation we started with. Partey on the right side, but
Partey at right back coming out. He started. We had him starting in our lineups, but I'm looking at the lineups, come match day, right before an hour before the game, and I'm saying, wait, is this right? Partey at right back. All right, well, let's see what happens. We had Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard in the middle. So looks like he made room for Havertz to be in the middle and put Partey out at right back. And I thought Ben White had been playing, exceptionally well, but his plan was for Partey to start at right back.
Well, before I get into that, I was going to say I saw Saka coming back using his speed to prevent some counters too. He was hounding it back. That's what I liked about that game.
Love that.
But going into that formation, I saw what he was doing. Jose also caught that out while we were texting during the game.
Yeah.
Wanted to go into the 3-back, put Partey into the middle. But when Partey had to play right back, he was getting burnt. I mean,
out of position. He is, more of like a defensive midfielder, but yeah, a little bit out of position. Sometimes you get exposed when that happens.
I mean, he's good defensively, don't get me wrong, but he's not the guy that you want chasing someone down.
Yeah. So yeah, that is very true.
But then going to the other side of left back, Timber, I think
when
he played, he had a great game.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I agree.
The ACL injury, they're saying. Hopefully it's only a couple of months.
You never know the severity of it, but you just hope that it's nothing too major, because with the ACL injuries, there could be sometimes the MCL gets impacted as well. There's multiple surgeries. You just got to wait and see what the update is. But this could be an injury that hopefully, like you said, a couple months, or we see an injuries take 9 to 12 months.
Yeah. No, I know a player right now still sitting out, going on. From what I know, 10 months now. He's just barely getting back into it. Sometimes you got to take some days off, but
Yeah.
that's without the professional medical help and the professional staff around you. So hopefully, not so severe, and hopefully Arsenal's medical team gets their stuff together because we're looking like Barcelona's medical team right now
Oh boy.
lately.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta, obviously he has the best help, professionals, but that's all we could hope for, And he looked like starting in, the Community Shield and we match day one, he looked like part of Arteta's plans going forward. But you know what? Let's talk about the depth
Exactly.
now. What do you think about how are we gonna solve this problem?
We need Zinchenko back as soon as possible, but I'm comfortable riding Tierney as long as we
Mhm.
have to. The only thing is with Tierney, he's also another guy prone to injuries.
Yes.
So right now we got one fully healthy left back, but he's had his history. So let's hope Zinchenko gets back as soon as possible. That way we have at least some of the cover for him.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, Tierney has been also a fantastic player, but has been in that, you know, just just being unlucky of starting playing well, injury, has to recover,
Yeah,
gets back to playing well, getting some starting time, injury, and that's a main reason why I think we went out and looked for more defenders and why we got like Zinchenko to come in. But with the
yeah,
likes of Zinchenko and Tierney, they're both are going to have they could fight for that position. And well, let's look at also who else played Tomiyasu. He's someone else who
Tomiyasu.
obviously has
Yeah,
been more of like a right back, but with Ben Wright playing right back and obviously Partey hopping, and that's hard for Tomiyasu to find, time at right back. So, he's someone, yeah, all right, go play left back, Arteta says. And you know
that's
what?
true.
He could go and he could fill that role, may not be as comfortable on the left side as his right side, but Tomiyasu is another option.
Very true. Very true. And if you could take that into account. If you don't, we could also throw Saka right back in his original
Yeah.
position.
Always got Saka back there. Always got Saka. That's where, when he made his first team appearance, like that's what he was at left back. And we also got QER too, you
Yeah, we
know.
do got Kira.
Yeah, QER.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's
he
played, center back too, but I'm pretty sure a couple games I remember him like last season playing left back too, if I recall, or on the
I think
outside.
so. Yeah,
But we have
he,
I think that we have the depth,
yeah,
which I think is something that has been super important, which we've talked about, is especially when you're in, FA Cup, the Carabao, Champions League,
yeah,
Prem, depth is huge because it's like, all right, we lost one, left back. Even if we lose, say Tierney, you know, hoping, knock on wood, nothing happens. But
yeah.
then we got Zinchenko, like you got Tomiyasu. You still got options to play around with, and that's the most important thing, I think. Even in the midfield now, right? I mean, Jorginho, Elneny's always been at the club. Even Partey. I mean,
Yeah.
because it looks like Rice is got is I think our best center defensive mid or 6 or 8.
Yeah, Rice, I think he had a great game too. He was
Yeah,
getting way more up, which I'm fine with. He was putting shots on net. So for
absolutely love
me,
that.
to see him getting freed up like that and him still doing his defensive work, which comes first,
Yes.
it's always a great thing to see. That means the whole team's on it. That means we're
Yeah.
going forward and everybody's hounding them.
Yeah.
So they don't know what to expect the other team.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he had, a bunch of shots, especially from his position too. Almost scored
Yeah.
too. Obviously getting
Yeah.
that one, longer shot where I think it fled off the defender a little bit. Maybe Turner
Yeah.
got a hand
Matt
on it, looked
Turner
like
had
it
to
hit the
save.
post. And he had that one opportunity and he had like that volley in the box, which I don't think he hit as
Yeah.
cleanly as he would have liked, but still ended up being on target and made
He get a
Turner
volley.
do something. So, it's just, great to see when you have, a central midfielder like that come to your club. I mean, you look at the position where he's in for his national team. He's, probably one of the best midfielders for the English national team for England.
Yeah.
And you look at the history of that, of having obviously, I've had like Lampard and like Gerrard and the role they've played for England and their clubs as scoring goals and, being like almost like a box to box, and Rice has, basically earned his position as, you know, obviously in any club he goes to, he'll be, in that starting role, but in the English national team too. And him and Saka have that. I mean, they're always together no matter what. When they're playing for
Yeah.
England or Arsenal. And that's what you love. Ramsdale too. Ben
Yeah,
White, if
that's
he
what you
gets a
have to
call
have in
up,
a team.
that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I've been on teams where you don't have that connection. You got a bunch of skill. Team goes nowhere. You're on a team. You have a little bit of skill. You can have a lot of bit of skill. That definitely helps. But you have that tight connection, and it'll take you very far.
Yeah,
That's the number one thing. You'll do anything for each other on the field.
makes a
And
difference.
yeah, when you like the guys you're playing with, level goes from here all the way off screen up there.
Makes a huge, huge difference because you all have that same mentality. There's no one's egotistical, wanting to get all the stats, wanting to get all the goals and raise their market value. Everyone's working together for a one common goal, which is winning trophies for the club, and that's very
Yep.
important. And you know that you know the atmosphere created by Arteta in that locker room is centered around that, absolutely
Exactly.
centered around that, and that's what he wants, and that's the atmosphere that he created.
Yeah. And that just when you're in that type of environment makes everything easier, not just on the field, off the field as well.
Oh yeah, you have the relationships off the field. I even saw a thing today. Nketiah had a quote, talking about like the Hale End boys, and it's crazy how just the academy has produced so many players that have come up to the first team and just have produced for us. I mean, you look at, obviously the ones that started, Nketiah and Saka, they have just been phenomenal. Obviously, Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson, all these players that have just come up from, Hale End and have just been in the first team, and just Arsenal is their club and they love it. It's just the culture that has been built
Yeah.
around it. And you just see what they do now on the field, and it's just incredible because they said like their chemistry, they've been playing together since they were young, since they were like little teenagers, and now they're
Yeah.
in their early 20s and they're producing.
Yeah, no, it's something special. Our academy is it's done great things. It's honestly, people say what they want. Our academy's up there with the likes of La Masia, Barcelona, it, we've produced some good ones
we have
and continue to.
we have I think I forget, I read one thing about Emil Smith Rowe when he was young. He had a nickname, and it was because he was so skillful as a young kid. They called him like he was like, oh, he's got like skills of like a Brazilian. Smith Rowe growing up. So his nickname had something like Eno in it. It was, I forget the exact thing. I'd have to find that article again. But it's just
Okay.
the way they raise these kids, they find the kids, and that they're able to do this is just it's just incredible.
Yeah. Sticking with one club since you're that young is truly something special. So if you could make it to the first team, which a small percentage do,
Yeah.
and then you stay with them most
Mm-hmm.
of, if not all of your career, it's
I love to see
something to
that.
definitely be proud of. Yeah.
And let's
Even as a
talk.
fan, go on.
And then wait, what are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna end it there. Go
Oh,
on.
okay. And I was gonna say, obviously thinking about Saka, let's just talk about real quickly, Saka and Martinelli. It's just like, left wing, right wing, Martinelli and Saka, like in the league, like last year they just produced and obviously, there's injuries here and there. I wasn't sure if Martinelli was going to be good enough for match day one. He started, played excellent, some excellent skill on that assist. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like it almost people
that
are
was
looking at you like,
magic.
oh, he didn't mean that assist, but you know what? Maybe he did, because that was
I
just
think he did.
and I think he did too at this point. He's just been incredible, and just the magic you get from Saka and Martinelli, and like, I mean, the consistency those two wingers get you and how they perform in the league. What other two wingers is there a team that has two wingers that start and consistently produce well, and that are even that? And I'm just looking at the ages
Right
Martinelli and
now.
Saka are like. What other
Yeah.
clubs have that consistency between two starters? I mean, you saw Salah and Mane for 5 years with Liverpool, just dominate on the wing, scoring
Yeah,
goals and assists. And it's almost like you see Saka and Martinelli. It's like, wait, last year they both had 10 plus goals, a bunch of assists. It's like,
yeah.
all right, this year, it's like, I think Saka and Martinelli, hopefully they're healthy, will each have 10 plus goals and assists.
I think so, and they're gonna be world class. Just like that assist,
Yeah,
world class. That goal, world class.
everything.
They were both moments of beauty.
Absolute moments of beauty. And, you know, we always, with our striker position right now, we're not going to have a Holland who's going to score 30 goals or even 20 goals. Maybe, you never
No,
know. But I mean, but you put Nketiah in where Nketiah doesn't know if we're buying Jesus, Havertz, where you know, Trossard is even could even play. If someone players that play the striker's position, Arteta goes, Nketiah, you go in match day one. I want you to start the strike position.
yeah,
First goal of the season for Arsenal, with Eddie Nketiah. And you just love that. Haaland, boy, everything
yeah,
about it. But you know, you're gonna have games where Nketiah is gonna have to come in. And Nketiah, when he gets his chances, you know, I think majority of the time he does it well. He's not scoring outrageous goals, but he puts himself in a
no,
position to score goals, even at whatever however it may be. I mean, but my point is between Nketiah, Jesus, we'll have, Havertz up there, whoever we get to play, even Trossard in that position, whoever might find themselves in that striker position, we're gonna have strikers rotating and producing. But
yeah.
it won't have that consistency of a striker to score 20, 30 goals. But you
Nah.
don't need it when you have three people in
Wingers
a
it.
lead of your attack, each scoring 10 goals. Mind you, Odegaard, who scored 15 goals last season. So,
Yeah,
when you have a team
from
that's,
attacking midfielder.
yeah, proper attacking midfielder, when you have a team like that, it's the goals are coming every game. It's not like this player is gonna be my Harry Kane and score a goal this game. It's like, all right, you have four different players. Like every game, they're scoring. And at the best
Yeah,
games, like I probably would have thought too, like you said, this was a game. All right, this could be a game where Martinelli could grab one, Saka might grab two, Odegaard might grab one. But those games, are coming, and those are the best games to watch where you see your whole top three and your attacking midfielder to score a goal.
yeah. I think it poses more of a threat. You have more different areas to choose from. It's not always the one guy. You just shut down that guy. Kind of like at City, they they have more than one guy, but everyone knows their main guy. So if you could
Yeah,
shut him down, it might leave you vulnerable in other places, but that's a risk you're willing to take.
yeah,
And
it is a risk that you're willing to take.
I'd say switching back to Eddie. Eddie's, like you said, not one of those guys that is going to consistently provide you. But what Eddie does well, he he puts pressure on that defense, he puts
He
pressure on
works.
that goalie, and it it causes something different as a keeper myself when I have a striker pressing me like that. Back of my head, I'm thinking, there's only one thing I got to do if he comes that close. I just got to
Get the
send it.
ball out. Was
Yeah.
it now?
So,
Remind me. I'm just drawing a blank. When Turner went to go kick it, and who blocked it that one time they applied the
Eddie.
pressure? That was Eddie, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the point proven from a goalie's a Premier League standpoint. The striker was able to get on top of the goalie to block his kick from going out, which is incredible. It just
Yeah.
shows the hard work that he puts in. And you've seen him talk and stuff. He wants to play, but he doesn't pout.
Yeah.
He gets in, however many minutes he gets, he goes right at it.
Yeah. And he goes, as they say in hockey, he goes to those dirty areas. So
Yeah.
it puts himself in the right spot at the right time, like that Martinelli goal. And he just
Mhm.
had to put him clean through the ball, and that was it. So
Yeah. Another
yeah,
player I wanted to bring up before we get to, I think we should finish with the De Bruyne injury. But before we get there, I wanted to talk about Odegaard. And obviously, it's one of those games where, he's not on, the stat sheet, but you watch the game and you see these little pieces of, like,
magic.
pizzazz of magic, Odegaard magic. And it's just, I mean, watching it, like his age and stuff, it's just gives me like reminders of like how like when you'd watch Ozil play, he just do this thing and you're just watching, you're just like, wow, like he
Yeah,
just did that. And it's like, but now from Odegaard, he's become so comfortable playing in the Prem in his position under Arteta. It's almost every game you see that. Like I
yeah,
always think back to last season, that one game where he just did like a back heel and megged the guy to get out of a situation when he was boxed in. But it's stuff like that. You see it's like every game you see, the piece of magic from Odegaard, and it's just football beauty. It's the beauty of football, I think. And you need that 10 position to control the attacking part of the field, because that's always
Yeah,
it's the hardest position, because you're getting constant pressure going forward. You have to have the good still, the good decision making. But when you have a 10 like that, like all great teams, obviously they have, people scoring goals, but it's that attacking midfield position. If you have someone to
the
get the ball in
creator.
the attacking third, the creator, that could not only help create goals, but score goals, scoring 15 goals. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just incredible.
I mean, on the ball alone is something special. You see he's moving off the
Mhm.
ball. He's all around.
Yeah.
And not only that, that's creating space for the other players offensively, but defensively, you'll see him getting back. He's not doing anything crazy, but you'll
Yeah.
see him make a few nice plays here and there, and you're like, okay, and it starts the attack right back up again.
Yeah.
That quick transition is how we're gonna get them.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Exactly.
I think other than that, the game itself, I'd like to talk about this real quick.
Hmm.
We had our moments. We had our moments of pressure. We had our moments of just holding the ball around. I think it was a little too much, just holding the ball around, passing it around.
Yeah.
It felt like we were kind of comfortable up 2-0. Two
Yeah.
nothing's a dangerous
Yeah.
lead. Me and you know. Everyone knows
Two
who
nothing
watches
is a
soccer.
dangerous lead. Chris is in the corner telling me right now.
Yeah. So you can't just sit back. They scored one, and you never know. It only takes 1 second to score a goal. Could have been
Hmm.
2-2 easily. So that was a little tension there at the end. But like we said earlier in the video, ugly win still a win.
Ugly win is still a win. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, me and Giuseppe always have this thing where, we say everyone says 2-0 is a dangerous lead, but we always say it in like this tone because we were watching the World Cup final together. And as everyone knows, Argentina was up 2-0 late in the game. Our one friend just kept saying 2-0's a dangerous lead. And then here
I
comes
whispered it into
Mbappe with
his
two
ear
late
first.
goals. Yeah, Giuseppe said it, and then our friend said it. But yeah, we all know that is a dangerous lead, especially, in the Prem. I always remember that one game, I think last season or 2 seasons ago, we were at Everton up 1-0, two late goals from Everton at the end of the game. I just that's one game that I was just so upset at the end. And I know the players were too, but it just shows that
Yeah,
just look how like City is, why they've won the league 3 times in a row, 5 out of past 6 is they don't stop. They score 3, 4, 5, 6 goals. I think that's something we're getting to, but we still need to do it more often.
yeah, I obviously agree there. Once you're on
So
the gas, you got to stay on it.
yeah. All right. So we also are running a little low on time. So let's get kind of end with, which I kind of want to talk to briefly, was the De Bruyne injury and the impact that, this could have on the league in general. Because like we said, talking about that number 10 position, obviously I think they have a lot of players that could play in the 10 position, obviously like Foden, Bernardo Silva, but what De Bruyne has done, I think, like we talk about, De Bruyne is out. They might not be, hammering wins, ties get dropped in, a tie here, a tie there. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe an upset loss, but those are, 1 point, 2 points here, 3 points there. They drop early in the season. At the end of the season, it all catches up to you. That's why you can't take,
exactly.
38 games. No game is like not important. Every single game from match day one till the very end, from Boxing Day, every game is so important. So I think, with this injury, if we see some ties, that could be a big game changer.
It could be. It could be. I think De Bruyne has kind of transitioned in that role where not all the time, but he's doing it a bit more, kind of just sitting there picking his passes
Yeah.
to Holland, and it's kind of like a glitch goal.
Hmm.
So let's with Gundogan out too,
Yeah.
out in
Guna, yeah.
Barcelona.
That's a great point.
It it definitely leaves a little hole there. Still got time until September to pick someone up. I don't know
Yep.
who that would be, but
Hmm.
let's hope they try to trust in their system, and I hope it goes against them.
Yeah, definitely.
But
So,
before we go,
mhm,
I think we got to talk about the game real quick. I know we're running low on time, but the game coming up on Monday against Palace.
yeah.
I think who do you want to start?
Are we home or away?
Believe we're away.
Okay. My so also another thing for everyone out there watching. My one roommate from college, he is from South London, so he's a big Palace fan. So Sam, if you do see this, it's always a good match when Arsenal plays Crystal Palace. But anyway, let's go back to our lineup. So my lineup that I will give out is, I'm still going to push for Ben White to be at right back. Oh, also
Okay.
Ramsdale goal. Can't
Yeah.
forget that Ramsdale goal. So Ben
We did
White,
just get Raya today. So
we did just get Raya, which is good to have
yeah.
some competition. But Rambo and goal. Ben White at right back. We'll have Saliba and Gabriel. You know,
Yeah.
that's my opinion should be there throughout the whole season again.
Yeah.
Gabriel, we talked about him last time, but now left back position. Like I said, if I hope Zinchenko was there to play, but if not, I just have a feeling that Tomiyasu might get the start. So I'm going to go with Tomiyasu at left back. It's
Okay.
kind of a toss up, between, obviously Tierney too, but I think Tomiyasu is going to get the start. So Ben White,
Yeah.
Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. In the middle of the park, I'm going to go with um the same midfield with Rice and Odegaard. Same midfield that we had match day one. We started so Rice, Odegaard, and Havertz. And
Okay.
then up top, but the same thing that we had Martinelli, Nketiah, and Saka. So some changes at the back, but for midfield and
Obvious
attacking
reasons.
three, I'm gonna keep the same people that we have. That's what I think is my predict to start. The only difference I could see is maybe Partey for Havertz, but I think Havertz is gonna start.
Okay.
What do you
I'm
got?
trying to think. I don't know what Arteta's trying to cook up with this Partey at right back going into the midfield type of thing.
Yeah.
This is what I would like to see. I would like to see Ramsdale in goal.
Hmm.
I think I would like to see Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, as you said.
Hmm.
Give me Tierney at left back.
Hmm.
You know, I don't have a problem with Tomiyasu. Did come in over Tierney last game to
Yeah.
finish the job. I think Kieran should start.
He is a
And then
lefty
maybe,
too.
yeah, he has some tricks up his sleeve.
He does. He
He's been
does.
around. Let's give him a shot back. And then midfield, Rice, Odegaard. And I know you're big on Havertz. I would
Hmm.
think I would start with Havertz as well. But
Really? So you think
yeah,
Havertz over? Because I've been debating this too. Do you also think Havertz over Partey?
I think to start, let's get the guns blazing.
Yeah.
Let's
Hmm.
get up a couple goals, and
Hmm.
then we get more defensive. You can put Partey in,
Yeah.
and then so I go Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and I said Trossard last week. He did come in and do his thing, but let's give Eddie a shot. Let's it's against Palace. Let's see how far Eddie could take us, and
Hey,
then when it's time for Eddie to
earned,
come
not
out,
given. Earned and
yep,
not given for Eddie.
exactly. He hasn't
Yeah.
had it easy with the fans either, so
Yeah. That's very true.
it really is earned.
Hmm.
But let's go out there, do our thing. Hopefully, not sit back, stay on the gas. We'll see from there.
That's it. All right. We get ready for Palace. And, the goal is 3 points. Every week, the goal is 3 points. The goals are always extra added on, but you got to get the points first.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys for joining in. And come on, you Gunners.
On you, Gunners. Thanks for tuning in.